Hello and welcome to Undercurrent. I'm your host, Lucy Marchant. More than 1,000 workers could lose their jobs at Western Power, starting with 200 voluntary redundancies from next month. Tibor spoke to Les McLaughlin from the Electrical Trades Union of Western Australia.
Here we are with Les from the ETU, and here in front of Western Power we will talk about the redundancies of more than 1,000 workers in Western Power. What is really going on? Why the Western Power have to get rid of more than 1,000 workers?
Well, Western Power is all about privatising. They're strapped for money, they're blowing their cash, and they're looking for somewhere to grab it. The state government needs money. Up until recently, Colin Barnett's been saying that we shouldn't privatise Western Power. But now he's got a hole in his budget. He's saying we need to privatise power. And in today's value, they're doing it as a fire sale. And what they're doing is they're stripping down, they're making it as lean as they can so that they can sell it and make it, attractive for people to buy because they've got rid of a lot of workers.
Yes, but before these 1,000 plus workers will be sacked, they already get rid of some other workers.
Well, they've already started over the last year, as anyone's left, called attrition. They've never replaced them. They haven't put on electrical apprentices last year. They're putting on no electrical apprentices this year. I mean, it's a clear classic of reducing their numbers to sell it off. And that's a danger to the population here because the customer's going to end up paying more money. They're going to get an inferior service. And in this environment now where the climate's getting drier, it is a bigger risk to bushfires.
So the $140 million budget for maintenance is cut back for $70 million. What's the reason for that? All the job is done?
Well, what they're doing is they're going away from preventative maintenance to breakdown maintenance. Instead of replacing the poles at a regular way, they've now extended the time that they'll take to replace poles by 10 years.
We know that in the bushfires in Victoria, and even New South Wales, it happened because of the poor maintenance of the electrical system and the grid system.
Yeah, well, that's the most recent where you've had a Royal Commission into the Black Saturday bushfires in Victoria and the Coroner's Court, where they've found that 5 of the 11 most devastating fires, where 173 people lost their lives, were caused due to poor maintenance of the electrical system. They're not going to buy Western Power to find a better way of giving customers innovative and cheaper services. They are looking at having a monopoly that was previously owned by the population of the state, by the government of the state. It's now going to be a private monopoly. It's sold off and it will be sold for profit. And the person who owns that monopoly picks the price into the future. Use your power at the ballot box and vote against privatisation. And the only way you're going to do that is vote the government out. Use your common sense and don't just think of a very short-term spin that's going on about it's all about saving you money. It is not. It is going to cost money, it's going to cost service, and it's going to put people's homes and lives at risk.
Like Colin Barnett built a stadium which was budgeted for $500 million, now it's cost us billions.
Well, unfortunately, we've seen a government here that's taken the biggest resource boom that we've ever had, and we seem to be much poorer as a result. We'll be in there right up. They've made an election issue. This will be fought all the way to the election until we change government.
But how could they make this an election issue? What they will print the ballot papers, vote for us because we're selling Western Power, or what?
Well, I think what they will be saying is, we've now put it in our budget, and that's what we're going to pay all the bills with. So you've got to vote it in, otherwise we've got a hole in the budget. And that's what they're going to have, by the way. They are intending putting the monies from a sale where they don't have any authority to do into this year's budget. And if that doesn't go ahead, they have a huge hole in the budget. So it's irresponsible. They should not be doing it. And at the ballot box, people have got to send them that strong message.
Tibor reporting to Undercurrent.
The spotlight is on Perth's younger generation as the state celebrates its 2016 National Youth Week. A variety of events were on offer for young West Australians aged 12 to 25. Our journalist Laura went to check it out.
Hello everybody, children are on holidays now, and the Youth Week has begun a few days ago. Many activities are scheduled for them, like dancing and that exhibition, for example. So come with us to have a look. Hi Rita, how are you?
I am very well. How are you doing?
Did you enjoy?
Oh, absolutely loved it. Had a blast with the young people, and I think they walked away with a few new skills. So job done.
Is it your first time you're teaching dancing hip-hop in Youth Week?
No, I've done Youth Week a few years now, and very honoured to, very happy that they keep having me back. So yeah, hopefully I'll be back next year as well.
Did you enjoy?
Yeah, it was very good, thank you.
It was your first time?
Yes, first time doing it. Yeah, I'd definitely go to more, they're really good.
Which one is next?
And I'm doing the circus skills next. And then after that I'm doing the food one, so yeah.
Could you tell us about the exhibition?
Absolutely. Well, this is the Kickstarters exhibition. It's happening here at Showcase Gallery at Central Institute, which is just on the corner of Aberdeen and Beaufort Street. And it's a collection of artworks by young and emerging artists aged from 12 to 25, coming from a variety of different backgrounds, some of them hobbyists, some of them wanting to make their way as professional artists. And it continues until it'll be Friday the 22nd of April. So it's 9 to 5 every day here. Yeah, except Sundays. Yeah.
And where do they come from?
Most of the artists here are from Perth, and there's a few from regional Western Australia. Some of the artists have contacted us through DADA, which is a disability arts advocacy body. And we've also had some contributions to this and also to our sketchbook project, which is at the State Library. And they've come from the Livewire inpatient program at Princess Margaret Hospital. So we've got a few artworks that have come from there as well. So it's pretty special. It's a real mix of professional and, works by people who wouldn't otherwise get a chance to have them displayed in an exhibition like this. It's a bit of I think it's a first for just about everyone exhibited here. It's their first time they've been exhibited anywhere, so it's a great little chance for them to celebrate their own skills and achievements. Yeah.
You spoke to me about very young artists. How old are they?
Well, for instance, this artwork here, it's called Valley at Sunrise, and that's by a 13-year-old artist. We have some other submissions. I don't know if we can walk along with this. Just up here we have a peacock and lion submitted again by a 14-year-old artist, so she's in year 9 at school. And we've had a few more from a 16-year-old just up here.
It's been really good. It was a really lovely lunch. We had little sandwiches and salads and things like that. It was good, yeah.
Did you come alone or with your friends?
No, I'm alone. I'm alone here. Yeah, so it's been cool.
You met a lot of people here?
Yes, I have. I've got this lovely group of people. It's been really nice, yeah. Yeah, it's been cool. Nice to meet strangers in such a cool environment.
Did you come here alone or with your friends?
I came here alone. I'm actually a part of the planning committee for Kickstart Festival. I mean, these guys, Mark, Kay, Ella, all these others, they're pretty cool.
Hi Laura, what is your role here?
I am the project officer for the Kickstart Festival. So that means that me, together with the National Youth Week Planning Committee, a team of volunteers, put together all the events for this festival. So the National Youth Week Planning Committee are a group of young people aged from about 15 to 25, and they tell us all about what they want to see, what they want to do, and we together put together a series of workshops and forums, special events and our big festival day, all in line with what the young people want to see and do.
Are you satisfied about the result?
I think it's been absolutely wonderful. All the workshops that we've had so far have really filled up, so lots of young people have had a chance to participate. This Saturday is our really big festival day. We're hoping that lots of people will come through to see all the markets that young people have put together, market stalls. We'll come and see all the really exciting attractions that we've got on Saturday, so we're really excited about that.
This is Laura Bayoumi for Undercurrent.
Western Australia's energy market is under review as the state government talks of privatising the industry. Consumers are expected to pay less for electricity in the long term, but at what cost? Elise asked the public what they thought.
How long are we going to accept lies and secrecy from our politicians in regards to lower energy prices as a result of energy sector privatisation? Today, we asked the people of Perth about their thoughts on the selling of our public energy resource.
It's okay when done properly.
I think it opens up competition and maybe better pricing.
The public have paid for the assets, and whenever they're privatised, they end up probably not getting the best deal. It all looks good in the short term, but the consumer ends up paying more in the long term.
I don't think it's a good thing because I think the government does a pretty good job at managing it now, like how it is now.
Energy Minister Mike Nahan says the WA energy market reforms the state government are proposing will result in consumers paying less for electricity in the long term.
This is not a rare thing. Most of the states are either have or are in the process of selling their distribution and transmission assets.
However, South Australians saw an increase in their power bills and paid the most in the country after their whole market was privatised. Would you be able to comment on this?
Well, I should think that somebody would need to do some investigations, and perhaps and part of the sale process is that prices remain level. I don't think that prices should be going up.
The experience of South Australia sounds more like what usually happens with privatisation.
There hasn't been too many things that have gone down in price in any region or any sector, so I can't see that happening here.
Nah, it's never happening. It's always increasing.
Would a price rise have a big impact on your household?
It's possible, it depends on how big the increase is, I suppose.
I don't even know what our electricity bills are. I have to say I worry more about the water.
Not on my household, no. But with unemployment so hard, with so many industries going down, I don't see that it would be good on the long run for other people.
Oh yes, it will have big impact, all the family, not just my family, you know.
I guess for low-income earners it would be a real slug.
What do you think about the new owners of Western Power being an overseas company?
I just don't like it, yeah.
It's not right, it's not fair, but obviously everything is controlled by overseas now.
I don't think it's necessarily a bad thing as long as control is retained here, and if the assets are privatised, that the value of the assets stays here.
If they can bring efficiencies and make things cheaper, then that's fine, but obviously it's nice to have Australian-owned companies.
The cutting back on power line maintenance in Victoria was determined to be the cause of a number of the Black Saturday bushfires back in 2009. A private company could potentially cut costs through changing maintenance procedures. Would you be able to comment on this?
If it's government or private, it could happen either way, but it's not something you want to see, right?
I don't know whether it would go that way, but definitely doesn't sound good.
Well, yes, of course. You've only got to look at old Clive Palmer to see what happens there. The electricity networks were never designed to be profit-making enterprises. They were meant to be public utilities where they provided a service economically.
At the end of the day, the maintenance is an issue for most things these days. And again, if it's subcontracted out, I am worried about subcontractors getting involved.
I'm Elise Van Aken for Undercurrent.
Stay with us on West TV for more Undercurrent after a short break. Welcome back to Undercurrent. The Heart and Lung Transplant Foundation supports patients who need or have had the surgery. This week they had a fundraiser to celebrate their members, sponsors, and their future plans. Our journalist Harpreet went along to find out more.
We are here at Next Gen in Kings Park for the WA's Heart and Lung Transplant Foundation, who are raising awareness for their new campaign, Put Patients First. Tell me about the event and what's happening tonight.
Okay, so today we've joined with Next Gen, Kings Park, to really to tell our story, our vision for 2016 and beyond. The foundation has been running since about 2004, and we've sort of had to take a look at what we're doing, and we really want to tell our story of putting patients first. And so part of this tonight is for everyone to find that out. We also would like to introduce our ambassadors to the people who are here, and most importantly we're actually hoping that we'll do some really good fundraising tonight so that we can achieve some of the goals that we have set for this year.
Do you have new sponsors that are joining you this year?
Well, the greatest coup has been that we have joined with someone like Next Gen Kings Park, They've taken us on board as their charity of choice. But the synergy of it all, which is just perfect, is that we're talking about heart and lung health, and you come to Next Gen Kings Park for the health of your heart and lungs. So it's a real perfect synergy, I think. And Next Gen Kings Park have been fabulous in helping us and working with us to achieve these goals. Yeah.
For us, it's great to work with a charity that has a link in the health and fitness. Everyone here receives a health assessment when they join the membership and join us for the club. So to work with Fatima and Sophie with the Heart and Lung Transplant Foundation has been a seamless link.
I'm a recipient of a double lung transplant. I had that in 1999. I had to go to Melbourne for my transplant because we didn't have the services here in Western Australia.
And how long did the transplant take?
It was a 10-hour procedure, but I was over there in Melbourne for 20 months. A 3-month mandatory stay post-transplant.
And did you start working after that?
I came back to Perth and then I commenced back at my full-time position at the Water Corporation in May 2000.
Hello, I'm Robert Larbel-Estia. I'm the head of the Heart and Lung Transplant Program and Cardiothoracic Surgery at Fiona Stanley. When the foundation first started, I've really been involved in day one. Yvonne Barley was really the initiator of this whole program, and the foundation started out of and around the generosity of Gary Brown-Neves and a number of other people who really kicked off our fundraising. And we realised at that time that we needed to formalise the whole structure of the benefactors related to the program. So the foundation was created then to really foster the support of the patients and their families, and also the support of the Heart and Lung Transplant program. So the foundation's been phenomenal over this about 12 years now that it's been in existence. It's supported the transplant program with the purchase of lots and lots of equipment which we otherwise wouldn't have been able to afford. And most importantly, that's the major item of equipment we bought, which is the Transmedics organ care system. That was $400,000 donation, which is a fantastic piece of generosity.
And how many transplants happen in a year on an average?
Last year we did 30, which for the state the size of WA, that's pretty much on the mark for what we should do.
I believe it will just continue to grow. We've had a few open days where everything that we've put together with a gold coin donation for the heart and lung transplant, and we will continue to do these at least once a quarter with Fatima. We've got one this weekend where we've got an open day on Saturday that everybody who will be coming to the club can bring their friends and family, or members can come in free of charge, and it's a gold coin donation for the Heart and Lung Transplant Foundation.
From our perspective, we're also raising awareness of what our small boutique organisation is, because our group of patients that we are looking after, it's not a big group, but it's still a very important group, and most importantly, I think, is the donation of organs side of things. I think that's got to be paramount going forward, because we need to educate people that it's vital to register to donate your organs should something happen to you.
We always want to get with a charity that has a link, and like I said before, the link with the Heart and Lung Foundation has been fantastic, so I can only see it growing from here.
Yeah.
Will it be expensive for members from the foundation to join the gym?
The great thing about the membership is you've got everything available to you. You've got a gym, you've got tennis, you've got squash, you've got pools. So if you're using the club as a whole, you can find various different membership levels from personal, so individuals, to families, and including two adults and up to 3 children. So there's a membership for all.
Heart and Lung Transplant Foundation of WA is hoping to raise at least $10,000 by the end of tonight through silent auction and donations. Harpreet Kaur reporting for Undercurrent.
Wayne Clements, the host of the TV program Art Studio, is appearing in shopping centres around Western Australia this week to meet his fans and raise money for charity. Our Undercurrent reporter James found out more.
I'm here at Belmont Forum Shopping Centre where Wayne Clements from the TV show Art Studio is painting live in front of the public for all to see. You're originally from Queensland.
Yeah.
Why have you travelled here to show off your artworks?
Well, because of the television show that goes around Australia, we've had a very big response from Western Australia. And probably for the last few years, we've been getting requests like, when are you coming over here? Because we travel around Australia, but we haven't been to WA yet. So, yeah, that's why we're here.
What can people expect to see if they come to see one of your displays in the shopping centres?
Well, we're here usually in the shopping centre for 1 week. And I paint about 40 odd paintings, 41 paintings on site. So I'm here every day, all day painting. And you get the people who are learning to paint come along, art group, art classes and that, and they come along for a bit of encouragement, I suppose, or, you know, and also just the general public. They don't often get to see an artist actually creating the work on site. You know, they always see the end product, but they don't see it being done. So I think that's a bit of a draw card too.
Approximately how long does it take to complete a painting?
It's hard to say because they're all different, but probably average around 40, 45 minutes per painting.
Where does the inspiration come from to produce these beautiful pieces of art?
Okay, the inspiration comes from everywhere. Like I could walk outside and look around and get something to paint, but I'm very fortunate too because we get a lot of people, like local people, and they bring in photos. You know, we've had some today, we had some yesterday, and they say, here, you can paint these, and they're their private photos, so that's great. That doesn't often happen, you know.
What is your secret to success? How did you become so good at your craft?
It's just a lot of work and a lot of practice, you know, it doesn't happen overnight, so pretty much, yeah, get into it.
What materials do you use for your paintings?
Okay, well, these are all oil. I mainly work in oils. I have done for probably 30 years, but for the last 5 or 6 years I've been using the W oils, which are water soluble, which is great because there's no smell in the shopping centres. You can use them at home, they're safe for kids, and there's still oil paint, but it washes out in water and there's no smelly stuff, no toxins, no flammable liquids. Yeah, it's really good.
What advice would you give to aspiring or budding artists?
I tell everyone, the secret is practice. You know, it's not how long you've been painting, it's how much painting you do. So the more practice, like most things, the more practice to do, the better you're going to get. And for people who are starting off, I always recommend that they do practice before they actually paint a painting. Like find out what all those brushes and how the paint works before you actually start painting a painting, because you're going to save a lot of time and a lot of money.
How can people get their hands on one of these paintings?
The paintings in the shopping centres, what we do is, like I said, we paint all week, and on the Saturday of the week at 12 o'clock we have an auction, and we're also running a raffle for Careflight, RAC Careflight in WA, and they get to pick one painting. So the winner of the prize picks one painting out of the 41, and then the rest of them are auctioned right here, which is a great opportunity for the public. They're not paying gallery prices, they're paying auction prices for gallery quality work. So yeah, we get a good crowd.
You've been to several shopping centres already so far in WA, including Warnbro, Riverton, Mandurah and Joondalup. How has the public responded so far?
It's been fantastic. Normally we'll have a group of people around us nearly all day, every day, coming and going. Art groups, I've even visited a couple of the art groups, gone to their classes just to see how they're going and, you know, just say good day basically. So no, it's been great, and just the general public, it's really, really good response, yeah.
How long will you be in Perth for?
We're probably going to be here for another couple of months, yeah, and then we're going to drive up around the top of Australia, and so then they can say I've done the full circuit.
There you have it. Wayne will be appearing in various shopping centres around Perth. You can also catch his program Art Studio during the afternoons on WTV. This is James Rogers reporting for Undercurrent.
Shofer has just launched its new service in Perth. The new app-based transport service is set to rival Uber and the taxi industry, with a service that promises to be different by focusing on passenger safety and comfort. Our journalist James went to check it out.
Please explain to us, how does this service work?
Shofer's an on-demand system, so you download the app and then you can request a driver. So it's similar to other on-demand systems that are in Perth at the moment, but the difference is you can select a female driver. We've got cameras throughout the car. We've got a safety alert button in the car as well. We do offer refreshments such as water and mints, and we're on time every time safely.
What makes you different to, say, Uber or the taxi service?
We are slightly cheaper than taxi services, and we offer a safer aspect on the cars than other on-demand systems, such as all our drivers have to do a breathalyzer before they actually take off, so they have to have a zero limit. We also have, as I said, the cameras and the microphone. We're attached to a 24/7 call area as well, so if something goes wrong, they're straight on it. They actually monitor our cars when we're active as well with the rider, so if they see something and we haven't said anything about it or push the alert button, they'll actually connect automatically anyway, so they can say, do you need help, do you need assistance? So we're a lot safer than a few other people around at the moment, so yeah.
Can you explain the fee structure? How much does it cost to ride in a chauffeur?
We're similar to the other cars on the road where it is per kilometre per minute, so it's a ratio of those two. So we do work out to be cheaper than your average taxi, a little bit more expensive than your other on-demand areas, but we do think that it's totally worth it with the different aspects that we bring, because we also do bookings as well, so it's a different we don't do booking fees or anything like that when you do pre-book, so it's a bit cheaper in that regards as well. So, and we do offer also discounts, so we do try and put them out there every few days with different promos. So at the moment we've got a 20% off promo, and then we've got the $15 off as well for first time riders.
Why are you allowing customers to choose whether they want a male or female driver?
This one is actually close to my heart. It's because with mainly female riders as well, when they've gone out by themselves, they just feel more comfortable having a female driving them home. Also, I found that a lot of females just like to talk girl talk as well, which they don't feel comfortable talking with some males. Don't get me wrong, some males are good at talking about it and stuff and are very comfortable with it, but some females just don't feel like opening up. But it's just a little bit of a safety aspect, making them feel more comfortable as well. Normally once they've had a female driver, they feel more comfortable with our Shofer brand to actually go male or female. So it's just pretty much making them feel comfortable. So yeah.
How can passengers feel assured that the Shofer service will be safe? Do drivers have to go through criminal checks and driving tests?
Yep, all our drivers have their F-Class licence, and they also go through national police clearance as well as traffic infringement notifications, and they also go through a medical as well. And then all our drivers are also screened by Shofer, so if they don't meet our requirements in personality or in just the way they appear, like a dressed kind of thing, then they might not make it on as a driver, or we might say you just need a little bit more training. So yeah, so we try and give it that next level of appearance.
Will Shofer comply with the state's laws, including the $60 minimum charge required under the operating licence?
We actually already do. We do actually apply to all the different regulations and licensing fees. We do pay them. Franchisees actually pay them on a monthly basis, and Shofer pays them as a franchisor in their own way of paying it, but we actually already apply to all those regulations and licensing fees.
It remains to be seen if Shofer will really take off. James Rogers reporting for Undercurrent.
At West TV, we hope you enjoy your school holidays. Thank you for watching Undercurrent. We'll see you next week.